Introducing Antarctica, written by Anita Gannerai. Contents page. Some words are shown in bold, like this. You can find out what they mean by looking in the glossary. About Antarctica. A continent is a huge area of land. There are 7 continents on Earth. This book is about the continent of Antarctica. Antarctica is the 5th biggest continent. Antarctica lies at the southern end of the world. It is covered in thick ice and surrounded by the Southern Ocean. In winter, parts of the ocean freeze over. Antarctica fact file. Area: 14,200,000 square kilometres, or 5,500,000 square miles. Population: up to 4,500 visiting scientists. Number of countries: 0. Highest mountain: Vinson Massif at 4,897 metres, or 16,067 feet. Largest lake: Lake Vostok at 15,690 square kilometres, or 6,057 square miles. Famous places. The South Pole is the most famous place in Antarctica. It marks the southern end of the Earth. A sign shows the position of the pole. Nearby is a US research station. The small striped pole shows the position of the South Pole. Mount Erebus is a mountain on Ross Island in the Ross Sea. It is 3,794 metres, or 12,447 feet high. Mount Erebus is an active volcano. It often erupts, shooting out rocks and steam. Antarctica is also the windiest place in the world. There are often storms called blizzards. Blizzards happen when the wind blasts the snow along. The blowing snow makes it difficult to move or see. These scientists are battling against a blizzard in Antarctica. Weather. Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. In winter, the temperature at the South Pole is around minus 60 degrees Celsius, or minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest temperature ever recorded was minus 89.2 degrees Celsius, or minus 128.5 degrees Fahrenheit at Vostok Research Station. Geography. Most of Antarctica is covered in a gigantic sheet of ice. In some places, the ice is 5 kilometres or 3 miles thick. Glaciers flow very slowly from the ice sheet into the sea. This glacier is flowing from the mountains towards the sea. Around Antarctica, huge shelves of ice hang over the sea. Sometimes, chunks of ice break off these ice shelves. They float in the sea as icebergs. Icebergs also break off glaciers. Icebergs drift on the Southern Ocean around Antarctica. The Transantarctic Mountains run right across Antarctica. The top of the mountains stick up above the ice. Vinson Massif is in the Ellsworth Mountains. It is the highest mountain in Antarctica. Many large lakes are buried under the ice. Lake Vostok is buried under ice that is about 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles thick. The water in the lake is still liquid. It is millions of years old. The smooth area shows Lake Vostok deep beneath the ice. Southern Ocean. Antarctica is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. The ocean is very cold and stormy. Strong winds whip the water into huge waves. There are also smaller seas around the coast. Sailing the stormy Southern Ocean is difficult and dangerous. In winter, parts of the Southern Ocean freeze over. The extra ice makes the continent of Antarctica almost twice as big as before. In summer, the ice melts again. An icebreaker is a ship designed for breaking through the frozen ocean. Whales and seals live in the Southern Ocean. Weddell seals live under the sea ice. They eat fish and squid. They chew holes in the ice so that they can reach the surface to breathe. Weddell seals have large eyes for seeing in the dark water. Animals. Despite the cold and wind, some animals live in Antarctica. Emperor penguins breed on the ice in the middle of winter. Penguins have a thick layer of fat under their skin. The fat keeps them warm. These emperor penguins are walking with their chicks on the Antarctic ice. Living things called algae grow on the snow. They colour large patches of snow pinkish red. Their red colouring works like sun cream. It stops them getting damaged by the strong sunshine. Snow algae in Antarctica can turn whole snowfields red. Other living things. Plants have to be very tough to survive in Antarctica. Lichens are tiny living things that can grow on bare rock. Lichens grow very slowly and can live for thousands of years. Hardy lichens and moss grow on the rocks in Antarctica. Natural resources. Each year, thousands of tourists visit Antarctica. They go to see the beautiful scenery and amazing wildlife. The tourists have to follow strict rules, such as not leaving litter behind or disturbing the animals. Tourists to Antarctica travel in small boats to see the icebergs. Antarctica has many natural resources, such as coal, oil, and minerals. These lie deep under the ice. People are not allowed to mine or drill for them in case they damage Antarctica. Countries and people. Antarctica is the only continent that does not have its own countries. Today, people from 29 other countries work together to study and look after Antarctica. They include the United Kingdom, the United States, Russia, and Australia. This research station is run jointly by Italy and France. Nobody lives in Antarctica all the time, but each year thousands of scientists visit Antarctica for a few months. They study the ice, rocks, weather, animals, and plants. Scientists send up balloons and equipment to study the weather. Research stations. The scientists live and work in research stations. These are buildings with living quarters, laboratories, offices, garages, and workshops. Many other people, such as cooks and doctors, also live there. In summer, about 70 people live at the UK's Halley Research Station. Scientists also spend time away from base. They camp in small tents on the ice or in the mountains. Sometimes bad weather can trap them inside their tents for days. Scientists' tents are pyramid-shaped to help them stand up to the wind. Explorers. The first person to reach the South Pole was Roald Amundsen from Norway in 1911. He used dogs to pull his sledges. He wore clothes made from wolfskin to keep him warm. Roald Amundsen put up the Norwegian flag at the South Pole. People are still exploring Antarctica. They have to train hard and be fit and healthy. They have radios and use satellites to help them keep in touch and find their way. These climbers are exploring Vincent Massif, the highest mountain in Antarctica. Fun facts. Antarctica is twice the size of Australia and 1.5 times the size of the United States. The ice over Antarctica is so heavy that the land has sunk under its weight. In Antarctica in winter, it is almost always dark. In summer, it is light most of the time. The Lambert Glacier in Antarctica is the biggest glacier in the world. Glossary. Active volcano. A mountain with a hole in the top which ash or hot melted rock comes out of. Blizzard. Storms with strong winds which blow the snow along. Breed. To have babies. Continent. One of 7 huge areas of land on Earth. Glacier. Very large piece of slow-moving ice. Icebergs. Big chunks of ice that break off glaciers and ice sheets. Laboratories. Places where scientists work. Living quarters. Places where scientists live. Mine. Dig up from under the ground. Minerals. Materials found under the ground. Research station. Place where scientists live and work in Antarctica. Satellites. Objects in space that can help people to find their way. South Pole. The most southern place on Earth.